Hello guys, welcome to the Unpacking series. My name is Hazel Jojo, the project officer for Hold Your Hand. With me here is Petinduru. Petty, can you introduce yourself?
Hello everybody, my name is Petronila Nduru and I am the project coordinator of Hold Your Hand. So before we start, I want you to comment, to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So today we are going to be talking about the effects of the pandemic, how it has affected our education system and our girls, mostly touching on the issues of teenage pregnancies. So Hez, I want to start with you. How has the pandemic affected you?
I gotta say the pandemic has affected almost everything about my life. Because when I first heard about the first 2 weeks of the lockdown, I thought, oh my god, it's just, a phase that is going to end. But it has now become our new normal, right? So it has affected my education, it has affected my way of living, it has affected even my social life. I don't know about you, Peter, how it has affected you.
I think for me, 2020, I just thought like I had plans, everything. I was like, this is it. This is my year. I'm going to conquer the world. I'm going to do all these things. And then the pandemic hit. I know I'm not alone. We are many. And then I was just like, okay, it's going to take a minute and some months. Then boom, 2020 is over. We are in 2021. We are still. So I can say that it affected all my plans, and it affected the issue of life, like what you say, the social issues, the education issue, the educational side.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you now, as we are introducing the education, how do you think it has? We are now touching on education. How has it affected our education system?
I think it has affected more because we were used to this physical way of learning where we go into the classroom, we use the exercise books.
The good thing is you're also at school, right?
Yeah. So we're kind of used to, let me put it as the traditional way of learning, right? But now the pandemic has, introduced the virtual way of learning without putting into mind the issue of affordability, availability, and accessibility, right? And for me, Petty, I felt like in as much as I'm at the tertiary level, I'm actually like facing some challenges. But how about our younger ones who are in primaries and secondary? How were they affected more? Maybe for us, we are used to using the devices, ICT, the laptops, the computers. But what do you think, how the pandemic has affected, the children who are in schools, who are learning in primary and secondary? Yeah. How do you feel it?
I think also taking note about the people that are in the rural areas. I saw this other peak with a small child that was carrying.
Sorry.
Which was like, what about, you're talking about online learning, but what about us? Because to tell the truth, I think most of our rural education system, they do not even know about all this. They just depend on the classroom, and now there is no longer that classroom. So think of the effects it has on both our the growing ones, the generation that is coming. So we're just hoping that things get better.
We hope so too.
But then let me just ask you this also. How do you think it has affected our girls? Because we are all about girls, we are all about girls, and we have them at heart. How do you think it has affected them?
Okay, so maybe if we look a bit before the lockdown, before this COVID-19, girls were already at a disadvantage, right? Because if we look at the normal day, what girls do and what boys do, there's a big difference. So even way before the lockdown, the girls were already at a disadvantage. And now the lockdown has kind of like increased that burden that the girls has to be, right? Like we're talking about online learning, right? Maybe you have an 8 a.m. lecture and you have to do the dishes first. You have to go to the boreholes. And you also have to look for Kagomo, Kekchaga network, you see, on top of that. Which is something that our girls are pretty much, experiencing. And the lockdown has brought some shadow pandemics, like teenage pregnancy. There's been a rise. I read, according to the Diamond FM, during this lockdown, 430 girls dropped out of school due to teenage pregnancy. Can you imagine? Which is like 430 girls.
That was then. That was then. But let's talk like that means now they are like more.
You see, so the lockdown has affected our girls. I can't even imagine what most of the girls in the other part of the country are facing because of the lockdown. I don't know what to think about that, but to me, I felt like the lockdown has brought disastrous effects when we talk about the girl child.
Yes, and also adding to what you said, it has brought down shadow pandemics. I like that, shadow pandemics. So you say the issue of teenage pregnancy, we are talking about child marriages because there's no food. We are talking about the issue of domestic violence, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about teenage pregnancy. So we are going to go on and unpack this issue of teenage pregnancy, and we are so grateful that our government has actually made a way to curb this issue of teenage pregnancy, and that's what we'll be talking about in the next series. So don't forget to comment, to like, and to subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.